Guaranteed waterproof, motherfucker. I don't know what this is. I found it. I know the brand name. I just don't know what the fuck this is. Rockwell don't come in tubes anymore. Bordeaux G ride, ooh, what it be like to live a G life. All I know is gonna die, cause I gotta stay high. I'm sipping on the liquor cause it gains to die quicker. These are the bloodshot eyes of a killer. I put that on my flag, I'm going hard till I'm in that body bag. In the back of the cab with a brick in a duffel bag. Back of a cab with a brick in a duffel bag. Both guns to playing cops and robbers. Real guns, real robberies. Take away, still play, even when I'm in my grave. Mr. Fuck the law, Mr. Fist against your jaw. Mr. When I'm done kicking down your door, you getting pistol whipped for sure. Let my family suffer, fucking undercover. You don't really want to see the barrel smoking. I'm not sure. I think 4 people got shot, 2 got hit by a fire truck, and 2 more had unknown trouble. That's just the day, man. Killer King. Killer King. Killer King. Haters. In the head, so they label me strange. Niggas fucked up. I'm gonna use my phone. You can find me lost in the mist and I'm rolling with West End, listen, my fans still run through my bloodstream. All day, gotta survive, almost I gotta be all knocked into the hood, he's in the alley. Focus my race on these blocks, making the damn street. Got a leg, came up on that guy slang. Money over everything, show me the keys to bang. Days again, cold to put the soldier marching in the lane. West End, went to pay, that's where I was raised. Mama told me stay in school, you gotta make it daily bread. Said the nigga cutting class investigations. Mama, I was only 17, posted was a band. Daddy wasn't there, the guys the streets made me a man. Pray for the Lord to save him, God embracing the hate. Music for the elevation, steady elevate. Did my focus heavyweight, but quick when I started facing. Even the foes devastated like a brain dead patient. But I'm wide awake, I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, but I'm wide awake. Turn up to be, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, but I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, but I'm wide awake. Turn up to be, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, but I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, but I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, but I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, but I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. All these suckers try to hate when they fake rap shit. They mad cause we got game and we play that shit. You sad sissy, say our names, you just play rap snitches. Back then, don't you know you always play that shit. You gave me that shit, you just saying no, play that shit. Homies bang my ladies singing, hey, that's sick. I'll take that bitch, fake that you can't last with. So take that dick, we're telling me you can't stack shit. I can fuck bitch, make fake ass bitch. I'll put you in the casket up in a wooden mattress. Chaos. Last one laughing. Flipping out the kitchen with gang, don't say no names. I hear you whisper with names, slip them with snakes, and giving information and check. That ain't what your signature state. flip games, slanging shit, my bricks bang, chicks bang. So they going in it for the quick bang. Chillin' with the bitches, cities nigga go with them lane. With the 6 switchblade, 20-inch range. Dream, while I'm wide awake, I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake, turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake, I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake, turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, yeah, I dream.
I'm gonna have to say that I smoke this shit. Please get it lit. Get this shit up. Barely out the pot. Boy, we living in hell. Got a story to tell. You could hear me, that's my friend. Either way, the whole world against me, I'm be okay. And the world on my shoulders. Like a gazelle running with the elephants. Well, the world burns. Your homie died first. Don't worry, we all get a turn. All dogs get to go to heaven. Taking whatever he wants. I'll get my cell phone. Rubber band boy still stay with a duffel bag.
You wonder what that value is? That's money in my pocket and it's going down. Yeah, that's the only other thing that really matters. But that day, I wonder what they will remember. Daddy going grinding next to hard around December. Santa Claus always missed the boat when I was younger. This whole time I've been trying to survive in the city where they gangs and the drugs drive. Feel like I'm being buried alive. Pick up the window, watch the cops go by. I'm stopped looking and accepted that I
Lost my mind.
Send me a sign, 'cause I feel like I'm living in hell. Ghosts in the alley,
Getting the smell. Forensics is in the building right now, eh? Oh, damn, it's the first one. I have to send somebody a picture or something.
Yeah.
It's drama.
It's drama. Yeah. I'm parachuting with money popping my collar on that hood shit. Fresh out of jail, straight to the dollars. Got a good connect, he never X. I wanna try to get the block and watch the money rise. Bread in the oven, pockets full of stuffing. Never catch me clubbing, but I ain't show the money in the house.
Come running.
Wake up, get the paper like the free press coming. But enough about that. Hold up, let me spit a rap for these assholes, man. With a crack flow, cops in
The front and I'm running up the back door.
Frostbite on my toes, damn, I'm on fly stoves. Running through the snow in my socks, trying to dodge fall. My jail days was the worst days. Sipping water, damn juice when you thirsty. Real
What did I just do?
3.5 for them, that's 1,276 mornings while my baby mama was out home and telling me stories. They like,
Who your baby mama? You better tell Maury.
Used to roll up at your mama's with a bag full of Tonys and a pocket full of money. Not the kind that you would know me now. Sick as kid rapping still. Someone called a doctor cause the rap is ill. Here, take another pill. Fake rappers acting still. I've been on my A game. Shit never lacked the skill. Real time.
What the fuck do I type in the address? There it is.
Yeah, it's that gang like shit. Yeah, homeboy. Yeah. I'm from the same side where they might walk up and they might drive by. Yeah, I'm staying high, cause today I might die. My homie doing robberies, trying to feed his kids. And shot and I ain't don't do shit. I live in a cold moment. Fuck yesterday, tomorrow, bringing some pain. Yeah, my other homie.
He a parole violator.
When I seen this PO with his eyes dilated, they locked him up quicker than the secret say.
See you later, alligator.
Crowd surfing on the back haters. Tomorrow never comes. Tonight is all that matters. I'm staying faded, cause I don't like
Who I am when I'm sober.
Staring in the mirror like behold the demon that holds ya.
For fuck's sakes. What am I, too fucking high to send an email? Jesus Christ.
Gang like driving my motivation, no tolerance, rational patience, skip go.
You're not 200.
Shit got me keeping robberies when pops left. It was a lot to bother me. Got a problem, load the weapon. That's how they saw me. That's what it talks to me. This how my face don't bother me. Put me in the race where the bottom be. It's just how I was born to be. Some cover this world with diamonds and pearls. Some cover poverty. But no one teaches right and wrong. How could you say that we wrong? This is all we know. So gotta be right.
That's all we got left.
Truly, peace and love to the ones that knew me. Fuck the rest.
How is that not in here? Before they die.
That's why I tell her I love her just in case they think my day to shine. Mother forgive me for I sin, and I'm sure I probably sin again. Tell me, blood is this on my hands? I can't remember where my night goes. I let you in the room, my dogs, on drugs, dope sucks, crazy dog.
Now, you ain't one of us. You are frustrating me right now. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Early morning hustler shit, cocaine in the pot, still realistic. Throw some ice in the mix and shocking. That's how you rock that shit. Now here comes the magic trick. Abracadabra, yeah. So disappears because your baby mama's welfare check. This the life, yeah. Fuck you, baby. I brought the bitch with me just to show you why it's playing. All the goons in this motherfucker know what I'm saying. But the streets gon' feel me. Know these cops still wanna kill me or confine me. But first you gotta find me.
So come find me.
You bitch ass, broke ass cops. Y'all can kiss on my cock. This is something that you'll never stop. Every bump in these tracks, even after I'm locked, even after my heart stops. I'm here to teach the next generation to say fuck the cops. Same way I was taught, yeah, same way I was taught. Yeah, fuck the cops, fuck the cops. All my dogs, on drugs, dope slugs, great dogs. Nah, you ain't one of them.
Graves does my last name means Grave Digger. You call me nigga lover, but I really like you guys because I think that I'm not bothered turning into a mother. You motherfuckers gonna get hit like someone getting died. Fuck it. Gallery. What's the biggest gallery? Let's see how many songs I can play before I finish this fucking email. And that's just
just another day around the way. My homie just got released about the case. Already got that look in his eyes, telling me you won't be long till it come again. Yeah, it's a fucked up world that we live in. I swear when I close my eyes, I can hear the tears of my children. So in my seat, but it would have been die by the cold of the streets. This is the life of a teen. Something that I never want you to see. I'm watching angels and demons fighting over me. Yeah, the winner gets to
keep my soul eternally. With life, all I know is around here it gets cold at night. There ain't no food in the fridge.
Mama doesn't get paid this week. Yeah, the yelling again, so kind of hard to sleep. Fuck count sheep. I'm counting how many times God don't ask me. These cold streets, only thing that will sleep. Yeah, I'm listening to my heartbeat. Getting high, smoking weed. I hit the blunt.
Pass it to my dead homie.
Sometimes it takes me a minute to realize that you ain't dead. Spend a lot of time talking to myself like you're still here. Only thing I can do is pour my liquor on and send you a prayer. Just another day.
Living in the hood, just another day around the way.
Good today. I die today. Just another day. Living in the hood, just another day around the way.
Oh, how am I doing this, man?
Homicide detectives on the corner taping out the murder spot. The jack boys down the street saying, give me what you got. Yo, homie, what's the rap? He hustle hard to get that watch, so we refuse to give it down. Let myself from the clock, lead him in the box. Now someone else is wearing that watch. Yeah, it's the whole world better learn to hold strong. Rush the next tombstone. If they call my
Be your own. For some reason, over
even though the sunshine over here still rains. Lord, forgive
me for my evil ways.
I feel I never change. I'll always be his way. Just the reason
We just gotta learn the hard way.
I pump packs
From Selkirk to Broadway.
I'll be repping for my city every day, all day. Throw your black flag up if you feel me. It's gang life, motherfuckers, till they kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Just another day, living in the hood. Just another day around the way. Good today, I die today. Just another day, living in the hood.
Just another day around the way.
Good today, living gang like soldiers. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Yeah, like this foul. From the hood where we can't afford to buy a vow. Got no time to learn how to spell. Selling drugs, only thing we really good at, only thing in which we excel. I just rolled a handful of rocks, now I'm sick as fuck. At least I ain't in jail. Lord knows this time my man gon' post no bail. Got a chest full of sins, guaranteed to go to hell. That's my soul sober down the line. Fucking ain't worth the time trying to find. This nigga got me feeling bulletproof. The little voice in my head like
tell him the shoot. You wanna rock with me, you better tie up your shoes. Fucking rules, slit his throat, take his jewels. Crack dealers still supplying.
And now you can still hear the sound. Babies are crying and daddies can't be there. Some were even locked up before they was born. Never even held their own child in their arms. They said the CRCs live in the definition of coming apart. Got me wondering where the fuck is God. I forgot to forget. And still I remember like today was yesterday. Sipping blood mixed with Alizé. Just me and Mary J. Singing it gon' be okay. It gon' be okay. Yeah, it gon' be alright. You said you need eyes to drive. Drunk too high. Get fuck about anything. Shut your damn mouth. Cause you can tell me anything. You get what you want. How's the bag and go. And where I let myself go. Just like I let myself in. Mainly all my exes in therapy.
I've come to the conclusion that there's definitely something wrong with me.
God bless the child. Hold his own. Hit the block. Make 100 grab the phone. Another broken stone. Let's not leave him alone. You wanna die, feel. Make it good like fucking world. And I stop until I'm gone. My heart full of hate. Wish it was just got blood in my eyes. You fucking up my heart. When it's my turn to go, I know my soul gon' fry. My soul gon' fry. My soul gon' fry. Yeah.
Me on 6 on the 6 on the 6.
Got a bone to take.
Every thought of my dome is 6.
Even after how many bullets really miss.
Praise be to Allah, my enemies can't seem to hit their targets.
Nah, I ain't wanna do it, I gotta do it. Wish you could look inside my mind and see what I've been doing. Once again, I let it chip to no good. Since I was a little hood, breaking windows in the hood. All grown now, but I wish a motherfucker would. Cause I just wanna hit something till it bleeds. My pressure on his lungs till it struggles to breathe. They say he's because of the death, so I fall asleep. You poor brain bitch, I told you I ain't wanna hear a thing. So you feel the earth to scream. Now I gotta get you would take your hands and feet. I ain't come to hurt nobody, I just want the money. I'm trying to fill hungry tummies. What's the rest do? I truly don't see no other way. Guess I'll be a gangster until the grave, but that's okay. Yeah, I tried to kill myself, it didn't work. Hold the trigger out my dome, the other guy spit the bullet out. Tell me something not quite right with me. That's
Fuck, I know how to get this address.
right here with me. Get a boy schizophrenic. It's the whole world versus me. They all love to get me, especially my homies. It's like I'm driving blindfolded, don't know where I'm going. Next shot could be the devil's spot, could be the Reaper's crib. Either way, I don't give a shit.
Long time since I was innocent.
Deserve whatever karma coming with. Yeah. He knew what he wanted to be. Right after he made his first 80 G's. If you want to take something from him, you want to pull and squeeze. Learn from the OGs, took after the top dogs. With the shoes on, learn how safe. Cause ain't no priest that gon' save me. Trust me, you can lose the door in the heart.
I know it's in here.
I had a lot of late nights, a lot of sleep. Victim of a boy's dream. Be like poison running through his veins. Mistakes made, things forever change. Now that once he was up, don't recognize his face. It's funny how it happens, but he ain't laughing. Truth is, his heart full of sadness. Exit murder on the beat, motherfucker. I dare motherfucker try to talk
So I can't send this fucking second email.
Get the fuck out of here. That's that real shit you love.
Peace of mind. At Desjardins Insurance, our agents are invested in you because they're invested in their communities. Better things beyond insurance.
Well, I posted a bunch of shit, so in my mind, this is old news.
Canadians don't let weather slow us down. We get out there to work, to play.
We might as well.
The truck that more of us drive. The Ford F-150.
The next 4 fucking minutes is going to be traffic and weather. I know I sent this fucking message, eh? There's no way.
Skip class, the make cash, the one who I never passed. Teacher always talking about something I don't really care about. You see, when I'm done here, gotta go home. And sometimes home ain't the place you wanna go. When the crowded room, I feel low. He watched his mother bleed down his arms. And then they wonder why he acts all the causes of his harm. Even better to get me back there. I was never supposed to be shit. This nigga knocked up for dead. Tell me how am I alive? You save it from my head. Get the fuck out of here.
Y'all ain't hitting shit. I'll read it. I'll read it. I'll read it. Shit. There's an attachment I'm not opening. Good day, from Good Day, apparently. No, the subject is Good Day. Okay. My dear, I write to let you know that our firm just received $420 million from a Canadian firm. The fund is deposited in a bank in Canada. Next paragraph. And we want to give it out on loan or grant. Loan or grant. That's a big difference, eh? To receiver to pay back in 10 years. The loan will be paid to you via bank-to-bank wire transfer. Why? We're in Canada. Do contact some bullshit email address and let me know if you are in need of the loan. Regards, attorney. Well, it's a bullshit name. It says Robert Anderson. Attorney. Yes. I save these. I move all of these ones out of the fucking spam box. I keep these for later. There might be something nasty in that attachment I could use later, eh? This does not help me send this fucking email.
Down to 9 degrees tonight, 15 for tomorrow, and then 9 degrees during the evening. It's still going to be windy tomorrow, and those showers taper off by the afternoon. 13 on Monday with mainly sunny conditions, and we'll have lighter winds, so it won't be as active, and chance for showers on Tuesday, staying cool with a high of 11. It's 9 at Pearson, 9 in downtown Toronto. Tonight's overnight low, 9 degrees.
Man.
Coming up at 8:30, the province cutting how much it originally planned to cut from subsidized city childcare spots. 680 News Time, 8:24.
This garage really needs a makeover.
Yeah, it's a total mess.
How about
How about a new car?
We could paint
New car?
Sounds like you want a new car.
Hear what he just did? He said it like an update. They're going to do what they were going to do in the first place. What's the fucking update? Jesus, you confused the fuck out of me.
3.79% APR for 52 months with $0 down, or finance at 0.99% APR for 36 months. Visit your local Ontario Toyota dealer or getyourtoyota.ca. Some conditions apply.
At 680 News, we know weather.
And we guarantee it.
If we're off by more than 3 degrees, we'll announce a lucky winner of our growing gas jackpot.
Somehow, I gotta find this fucking email address. Oh shit, what's this?
Enter in October for your chance to win an all-inclusive vacation for two to the Royalton Antigua
First Southern Cash Advance 459. Dam not Davra. Ay, Rashkia. Yet.
weather guarantee with Sunlight at Royalton Luxury Resorts.
680news.com.
This portion of the news brought to you by Tridel, and coming up in 60 seconds, the 680 News Small Business Feature. 680 News Time, 8:25.
Fuck off. Motherfucker, I could have been listening to this the whole time. Exactly 420 million. Now, I know I sent this fucking email to somebody, so why can I not find a copy of it so I can email them to get it? No, that's not it. Motherfucker. No way. Fuck, I can't even locate the business card with the other address on it. What the fuck is going on with this shit?
I don't really care about. You see, when I'm done here, gotta go home. And sometimes home ain't the place you wanna go. When the crowded room, I feel low. He wants his mother bleed down his arms. And then they wonder why he acts all the causes of his harm. He was even betting to get me back then. I was never supposed to be shit. Just to be knocked up or dead. Tell me how am I alive if you save it from my head. Y'all are killing shit. I was born for a greater purpose. Because of that, I know I make you nervous. Careful, there's a demon knocking underneath the surface. I do this in the memory of my dog, dead and
Oh my
deceased.
god.
Every scar, every tattoo, is something to me.
So good. What the fuck am I searching?
All that talking on your wet face scaring me. You keep on pushing me, just like you're killing me. I got one.
You know, small businesses who don't have these billion-dollar budgets and these teams of thousands of data scientists, they can be doing a lot on a shoestring budget.
Thomas says the biggest companies have already done the hard work to develop the artificial intelligence programming, and now it's accessible.
They basically can rent these services from cloud providers like Microsoft Azure, Google's Cloud, Amazon AWS, with a very fair pay-as-you-go pricing model. So, you know, if you're a small business, you're only dealing with 10 customers a day, you only pay for 10 customers a day worth of services. And as you scale up, you pay for more, but you're getting more.
And Thomas says the programming doesn't require a computer degree to make work.
Nothing found.
And it's a
How is
necessity
that
for small
possible?
business
What is
success.
wrong?
If you're not already collecting data on customer interactions, then you should be. So you got to use a CRM tool, for example, like Salesforce, to collect data on every customer interaction you have, whether it's a call, an email, a website visit, an in-person visit. But once you have that data in place, that's what the AI algorithms and the analytics algorithms are going to start working on. Who your top customers are. They'll tell you which customers are about to leave, predict how much money each customer will spend in their lifetime. They'll help you figure out the best sales or offers to make for each customer individually.
That's Stephen Thomas with the Queen's University Smith School of Business. With a spotlight on small business, I'm Mike Apple.
You run a small business. You've got good people working for you. But the reality is you spend most of your time on paperwork, invoicing, and chasing payments. But it doesn't have to be that way. Meet Sage Accounting Software. Secure, safe, and trusted. You can take care of invoicing on the road, banking at the office, and cash flow from home. Work where you want, when you want. It's simple, efficient, and makes accounting a breeze, allowing business owners to do more of what they love.
What happened to
Get
my
all the
email?
details at sage.com/smallbusiness.
As a homeowner, you have built-up equity value in your home. With Capital Direct, equity equals flexibility for homeowners. Or flexibility to pay off other things like property taxes. Call Capital Direct at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL. 96% of existing Capital Direct clients surveyed would recommend Capital Direct to family, friends, or colleagues.
I don't like this when shit goes missing, man.
26 from 10 to 2, receive a free blood sugar and blood pressure screening from your local Walmart pharmacist. Walmart, helping Canadians live better. This advertisement presented by Apotex.
In Calgary, mostly cloudy and 2 degrees. Montreal, some light rain and 10 degrees. Downtown Toronto, we have some light rain and 10 degrees. 680 news time, 8:30.
Number one for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Good evening. This is Saturday, October the 26th. I'm Aiden Tababa.
And I'm Casey Taylor. Here's what's making news this hour. Good news for child care services. The cuts coming in 2020 are far less than we first thought, but Mayor John Tory says it's still not enough.
3 people are in hospital, including 2 teens after being hit by a car in Brampton.
Police are investigating a suspicious incident in Midtown after 2 people were found with life-threatening injuries.
And Rocket Man is putting the rest of his farewell tour on hold.
After falling behind 2-0 in Montreal, the Leafs have tied things up against the Canadiens. The Raptors in front against Chicago, and Houston has the early lead in the World Series. Sports at 45.
And coming up in business, a spotlight on small business and a new study that looks at millennial entrepreneurs in Canada, and their process is probably different than you think.
680 news time, 8:31.
Now time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Hakeem Optical, eastbound on the 401 approaching James Snow Parkway. The left lane for sure is blocked here with a crash. Traffic spotter let me know he was traveling westbound by this problem. He was thinking maybe there was another lane involved that's closed, or it could be the shoulder, but it's very heavy on the eastbound 401 past this problem from approaching Highway 25 until you can get past past this problem approaching James Snow. We're seeing the problem east of Dixie on the eastbound 401. It was in the Express. It's now clear. Still a little bit of volume from east of the 410, but that's going to start to ramp up and get back up to speed rather quickly. We still have a stalled vehicle on the westbound 401 ramp to Stevenson. It's blocking the left lane, and a crash is in place still on the west 401 approaching Warden in the collectors with the right lane blocked here. We're seeing a slowdown approaching Leslie in the Express for a short stretch. And then approaching the 400 in the collectors. We could have some lanes blocked here. I'm starting to see a slowdown in this area. I'm just trying to pop the camera up right now. Westbound 401, we're seeing volume through Mavis as well. Westbound 407 approaching Warden. 3 left lanes are blocked here with a crash. And then 2 crashes on the southbound 400. First off, approaching King Road, 2 left lanes are blocked. Very heavy delays. And then approaching the 401 ramps, we have lanes 3 and 4 from the left blocked off here with emergency crews. It's heavy from south of Finch. Southbound 404 DVP, we're looking at volume Shepherd to approaching Eglinton and onto the Gardner ramp. Westbound Gardner busy from the DVP to Cherry, Dufferin to approaching the Humber Bridge, on and off again, but it's really looking up. Everything's starting to improve. Westbound QEW west of the 427, we have some lanes blocked here with another crash. Starting to see some delays if you're traveling south 427 trying to get onto the westbound QEW. It's actually backed up approaching the 427 on the westbound Gardner as well. Eastbound QEW, our problem east of Southdown, that's now clear, so things are starting to improve, but we're still looking at volume from east of Winston Churchill. Update your eyewear with some cool new looks from Hakeem Optical. Save 50% on a complete pair of prescription eyeglasses. Visit HakeemOptical.ca today. Your next report is at 8:41, and with the forecast, here's Carl Lamb.
Rain headed through Burlington, Oakville, Mississauga, and now on the doorstep of the downtown core areas. To the north are also seeing some rain as well from Caledon down toward Vaughan, and it's about to make an entrance into the east end of the GTA. This rain will carry on, and temperatures dropping down to an overnight low of 9 degrees. We could see anywhere between 30 to 50 millimeters of rain, all part of this special weather statement. Tomorrow we warm back up to 15 degrees with cloudy skies and rain through the early afternoon.
In one night,
right now it's 9 degrees at Pearson, 10 in downtown Toronto, and tonight's overnight low 9 degrees.
680 news time, 8:34.
Cuts coming to child care services next year may not be as severe as initially thought.
680's Cam Dorrit tells us the Ford government has had a little bit of a change of a heart. The city of Toronto may have about $10 million more for childcare services after the Ford government announced they were pulling back a bit on planned cuts to the sector. Mayor John Tory says it's a good start, but would rather see additional funding as opposed to any cuts at all.
When you're still talking about a cutback, that is something that is just not right, given the importance of childcare to so many families in Toronto. So it's progress, but there's more work to be done.
City Councilors Joe Cressy and Michael Layden echoed the mayor's statements, calling the entire process silly, adding that, quote, in a city where 17,000 low-income families are stuck on childcare waiting lists, funding should be added instead of cutting what we have. I'm Cam Dorrit.
680 news time, 8:35. Toronto police say 2 people found this afternoon with life-threatening injuries have now died in hospital. Police called to a high-rise in the Yonge and Davisville area around 12:30 this afternoon, finding the man and woman with critical injuries inside. It's still not clear what happened or what caused their injuries. Police say they continue to treat the deaths as suspicious.
Peel police say 3 people have been hit by a vehicle, including 2 teens in Brampton. 2 males taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A third man rushed to a trauma center in life-threatening condition. Police say they're now looking to track down the driver, who they say fled the scene near Elgin Drive and McLaughlin Road. The vehicle involved is described only as a white Jeep Cherokee with a broken tail light. Anyone with information is asked to contact Peel Police.
And Peel Regional Police are also on the hunt for 2 armed suspects after the pair robbed a bank at gunpoint. Officers received the call just before 4 this afternoon from a bank located in the area of Derry Road and 10th Line. It's not known if the pair fled with any sum of money or items. The first suspect is described as black, standing approximately 5'10" and last seen wearing gray sweatpants, a long dark sleeve sweater, and white Nike shoes. The second is described as multiracial, around 5'8", wearing dark pants and a dark shirt. Police say they both fled in a white sedan or crossover type vehicle. If seen, do not approach. Simply call 911.
You're listening to
You
All
just
News
described
Radio
all of
680
us.
News at 8:36.
I can't stand next to
People
my
are in
friends
serious
outside
condition
now.
in hospital after their car collided with a fire truck in the city's East End. Police called to the intersection of Pharmacy and Shepherd
How'd you
Avenue
miss the
East
fucking fire
just
truck?
after 12:30 for a report of a crash. 2 elderly passengers were rushed to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police tell 680 News none of the fire truck's occupants were injured in the crash.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. Police are seeking the public's help in locating a missing woman. 25-year-old Sadie Smithen was last seen at approximately 7:30 this morning in the Melbourne and Gwyn Avenue area. Smithen is described as 5'3" with a slim build, long black hair, and braided in a ponytail. Police also say they are concerned for her safety. Anyone with information is asked to come forward or contact Crime Stoppers. Her photo can be seen on the Toronto Police Twitter page.
680 News Time, 8:37. NBC is changing its policy regarding former employees who signed non-disclosure agreements after complaints about the network's handling of sexual harassment cases.
The announcement was made during Friday night's Rachel Maddow show.
In terms of the specific question of women signing away their right to speak about any such incidents, well, there we actually have a little bit of news.
Under the new NBC policy, former employees will be released from any previously signed agreement to speak out on issues related to sexual harassment. In his new book, Catch and Kill, former NBC reporter Ronan Farrow interviewed women who claimed that NDAs and payouts were being used to silence them. NBC has denied that allegation and followed up with this new policy. Mona Rivera, ABC News.
680 News Time, 8:38. The Rocket Man has been forced to postpone a U.S. stop on his farewell tour.
It's gonna be a long time.
On the last stop before getting set right here in Toronto on Wednesday and Thursday. A farewell tour makeup date has been set for next March.
One lucky man in Quebec is getting to live out this scenario.
I'll let that one go.
I'd be rich. Yeah, all it took was a $2.25 bet on a slot machine at a Casino de Charlevoix. The man in his 50s who recently retired and wants to remain anonymous won just under $1.2 million when he hit the jackpot. He celebrated with his family in a private lounge after the win. Nice.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 8:39.
You didn't tell us nothing about the fucking truth.
Welcome to the afterlife, old red sedan. It's a good thing your owner needed to get rid of you
Okay,
fast.
Is this where I become a kidney car?
It is. You'll start supporting life-changing medical research and leading community education.
Fuck these people. I can't believe I waited that long. They didn't even cover it. Great. Now I gotta find which one was from today, right? The cops shot somebody, and somebody shot 2 other somebodies. How the fuck did those emails disappear, man? Fucking bullshit. Fucking JavaScript. God damn it. Why do you people use so much fucking JavaScript and not do anything with it? What is the fucking point? SIU investigating after man seriously injured in North York shooting. That's the Special Investigations Unit. They're called in when the cops kill somebody. The province's Special Investigations Unit has been called in following an early morning shooting in North York. The SIU says police got a call just before 4 a.m. about a road rage incident and that one of the drivers might be armed. Officers located the vehicle in question at a Tim Hortons drive-thru in the area of Jane Street and Falstaff Avenue. There was an interaction between police and the 29-year-old driver, and the officer discharged between police and the 29-year-old driver, and the officer discharged his firearm multiple times, striking the man. Paramedics say they transported a man to a trauma center in serious condition. Investigators appear to be focused on a white car riddled with bullet holes. Riddled, which appears to have called me the Riddler, which appears to have crashed into a yellow parking lot barrier in the drive-through portion of the restaurant. The SIU is an arm's-length agency, yeah, sure they are, that investigates reports involving police where there has been death, serious injury, or allegations of sexual assault. You should see some of the ignorant comments, but I'm not going to read them. No. I'm not going to make you internet famous. You make yourself internet famous. Fuck. 2 seriously wounded in Thorncliffe Park shooting. 2 people are in serious condition in hospital following a double shooting in Thorncliffe Park overnight. Police say they responded to multiple 911 calls regarding shots being fired at an apartment complex on Thorncliffe Park Drive near Overley Boulevard shortly after midnight. When officers arrived, they found a 34-year-old man and a 27-year-old woman inside a vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds. Police have not yet released any suspect descriptions. I'll read this one. It says, the comment says, just the start of a weekend in GTA, more will come. Well, the bank robbery just happened, didn't it? So that's kind of how it goes here.
From finger painting to times tables, school's the start of a journey that can take you anywhere. Our education system needs to evolve to reflect this journey, to prepare kids for the future, their future. So we're updating it to give kids the tools they need to support positive mental health, develop real life skills, and prepare.
It's gonna be nothing but damn sports. See, I got it. They repeat exactly what time everything happens at. I got it memorized. I've been listening to this since they started it. Just like, how the fuck did that happen? Residents unhappy as Toronto area tourists descend upon Ontario hamlet. Yeah, they don't like us in small town Ontario. You leave the city and they know you're from the big small, okay?
Tell me how am I alive? If you save it for my head, get the fuck out of here. Y'all are killing shit. I was born for a greater purpose. Because of that, I know I make you nervous. Careful, there's a demon lurking underneath the surface. I do this in the memory of my dogs, made it deceased. Every scar, every tattoo is something to me. Yeah. I'm around, till they bury me. All that talking on your quick face, scaring me. You keep on pushing me, just like you carry me. Like I won't pop, pop, pop. right now. 14. Fuck yeah, fuck shit. Can't fuck with this. I ain't getting bail, so I run to the catch me. I ain't scared of y'all, so you gon' have to dead me before I ever stop. I'm a giant in the fast lane. Get your toes the fuck out the way, cause this year I'm stomping on every day. Took the cocaine and now, way less till I'm on my triple back. Fuckin' with you nigga playing boy. Got killers across the country just waiting for the order. Product across the border, guns on their way, mine on standby. Send my condolences, yeah. Heard your man died. Got that good, if you trying to get high. Just follow my lead and you gon' be fine. Yeah, I came from a place where city to lose faith. Had to learn the hard way, the only way, all day long. Had to earn these scars just to break this song. I work for the great nigga, was the music stop. Apollo was upon the star. Maybe one of my enemies feeling great today. We could have bumped them enough, survival at all costs. Whatever it takes, I still live in my state. Humble from error, humble from mistakes. I'm a ride, you ain't bury me. All that talking on your white face scaring me. Keep on pushing me, it's like you're carrying me. Like I'm on pop. Leave them there, but I'm a ride, you ain't bury me. All that talking on your white face scaring me. Keep on pushing me, it's like you're carrying me. Like I'm on pop. Leave them there, bleeding.
All I do is take your time, told her shake your frame. Now she's trying to say she love me, but I know she don't want. I told her shake your hand, told her break your chain. Now she's trying to say she love me, but I know she don't want. You wanna see this kiss and hug and tell her what's up, 'cause I know you want me, 'cause I'm thuggin', feeling the buzz. She put the ecstasy in the cup, I hit the bud, then we see releasing her. 'Cause I don't need the drugs, kissing and split when we high. I stick them every day, 'cause that's the only bitch that don't lie. She tell you greasy good, she tell you greasy bastard. Even jealousy, she let me do that one night stand. You was
This is stupid. I'm reading and reading, but I'm not getting the point of this.
Shake your frame. Now she's trying to say she love me, but I know she don't want. I told her shake your hand, told her break your chain. Now she's trying to say she love me, but I know she don't love me. I never thought she would, but she got me good. I was kinda shocked, said that she could make that thing drop. She could never stop, she should. 'Cause I'm about to bust, so I just pop it in the mouth when I'm pulling it out the guts. Now you ain't in love now, you just feel my swag. So bitch, come fill my bag with clothes, cash.
Come on, there's got to be one funny thing in this whole thing, right?
This game you playing is plain and stupid. Time is foolery. So get a life, quit acting like this new to me. We've had a couple sluts that even came and flew to me. Never had to tell her, take a couple cities. And if that bitch ain't smelling shit, I'll stick her. All I need is take your time, shake your frame. Now she's trying to say she love me, but I know she don't want. I told her shake your hand, told her break your chain. Now she's trying to say she love me, but I know she don't want. I tell her take your time, told her shake your frame.
Oh, so he's gay. So I read all this. There's no fucking funny shit in here at all. Nothing deep. By the way, he's gay. Thank you. That's important. I'm so glad. is why I read shit before I start saying it. Eh? Like some Twitter sensation, some fucking Twitter bullshit. It's funny, it's true, it's deep, it's bullshit.
It's now clear as well, and we were seeing some delays, but everything seems to be moving back up to speed now. So both problems gone on the southbound 400. Southbound 404 DVP looking at volume 401 to south of Lawrence. Westbound to the Gardner, no delays, no problems. Westbound QEW was heavy, still is actually, but it was because of a stalled vehicle just west of the 427. It was blocking the left lane. We're still seeing delays from approaching the 427 on the westbound Gardner. And then just for a short stretch west of the 427 on the westbound QEW, but that's going to start to get much better very quickly. The problem is clear. Evans Avenue ramp onto the northbound 427 completely blocked still for a crash cleanup that's underway. We're looking at volume on the East QE Mississauga Road to Cawthra, and still with a couple issues on the westbound 401. The ramp to Stevenson, the left lane is blocked on the ramp here with a stall, and approaching Warden in the collectors, the right lane's blocked here with a crash. With Walmart's guaranteed unbeatable low prices, save $6 on a 95 count of Mars Halloween candy, now only $8.97. Walmart, save money, live better. Your next report is at 9:01, and with the forecast, here's Carl Lamb.
Some of the heaviest rain is moving through the GTA right now, from Brampton down to the downtown core and stretching back toward Oakville, Waterdown, and also including Mississauga and areas up toward Vaughan and Newmarket. So this rain is going to continue. It's all part of this special weather statement that could bring us anywhere between 30 to 50 millimeters of rain. These are the remnants from post-tropical cyclone Olga. And temperatures tonight dropping down to 9 degrees. And then we rebound to 15 tomorrow. And then looking ahead to Monday, 13 degrees with sunshine. And we will have a chance for showers on Tuesday with a high of 11. Right now, 9 at Pearson, 10 at 680 News. Tonight's overnight low, 9 degrees.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Revita Medical. If you're dealing with erectile dysfunction or want to enhance your performance, visit revitamedical.ca. Revita Medical, keeping over 1 million neighbors awake all night.
Coming up at 9 o'clock, Premier Doug Ford is reducing his child care funding cuts, softening the blow of a nearly $10 million projected loss to the city. 680 News Time, 8:54.
Well, Jack, it's just us big old pumpkins left on this muddy country lane.
You're no pumpkin. You're just a scrawny 2-pound gourd.
Well, Jack, we have the same squash DNA, you know.
Wait, is that a Subaru coming to pick us up?
It sure is. With standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Oh, what an adventure this will be! You're finally going to be a jack-o'-lantern, Jack.
And you're going to be a bland side dish.
Adventure comes standard at your local Subaru dealer. Hurry in for lease and finance rates from 0.5%.
The ultimate traffic reports in the city every 10 minutes on the one.
Getting you there as fast as humanly possible.
This is 680 News.
Pope Francis is standing up to conservative critics who oppose display of indigenous statues in a Vatican area church.
Pope Francis asked bishops and tribal leaders from the Amazon for forgiveness after thieves stole indigenous statues from a church near the Vatican and tossed them into the Tiber River. Italy's police have recovered the statues of the fertility goddess Pachamama unharmed. Francis rejected the claim published online by the ultra-conservative thieves that the carved wooden statues of naked pregnant women were symbols of pagan worship. Francis's apology comes at the end of the Amazon Synod, discussing proposals to better protect the Amazon rainforest and minister to its peoples. Megan Williams, ABC News.
There's not one original thing in it.
Coming up in just 60 seconds, our business report. 680 News Time, 8:55.
Audi has a long tradition of motorsport success. So much so,
That's the very last story of the hour.
The indigenous higher performance. Now, for a limited time, S stands for saving. Receive additional Audi credits of $1,000 on virtually every S model in the lineup. Plus, equally impressive credits on models like A4, A6, Q8, and the full-size Q7. The Fall for Audi event is even better. Now until October 27th at Audi Queensway, 1635 the Queensway, and at AudiQueensway.ca. Catch all the excitement of your favorite slots and table games at Casino Woodbine. Sign up for a free One Rewards membership today, and you could be eligible to get your first $250 on us. Need a lift? We've added new Toronto shuttle bus routes that will take you right to our front doors. Must be 18 plus. Rewards membership required. If you gamble, play smart. Casino Woodbine. Toronto's home for gaming and entertainment.
680 News Time, 8:56. Now the 680 News Small Business Feature brought to you by Scotiabank Small Business.
I'm Chris McCusker. Canadian millennial entrepreneurs aren't what you might think. That's according to a new study done by Cargo, a marketing and advertising agency that specializes in helping big brands connect with small businesses. Mickey Velimirovich is the president of Cargo.
Typical things that are out there, that people think of millennials. They lack ambition, they're lazy, they lack pride, they're kind of daredevils, don't really care if they fail, there's no loyalty, no responsibility.
You're anywhere from 15 to 40, you're a millennial. I'm being called a millennial.
Really true, and in reality, it isn't. We started by looking at the Big Five, or OCEAN model, so that's the assessment of the default emotional states. And the five are openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. And so when we look at all those myths, one would think that they would be somewhere in that extroversion and neuroticism, but in fact, they're actually really, really resonating with conscientiousness, followed by agreeableness and openness.
So they're a little more cautious than you might expect. Any idea why?
The Great Recession of 2008 had a big effect on them, because what they saw is that this blind trust of the corporate system, you go get yourself some good education, get yourself a good job, companies will take care of you and everything will be fine. And what they actually saw, that this perceived stability really isn't there anymore. So they started to become distrustful of big brands. They started to become distrustful of this whole
those kids never grew up with that shit.
So really their mindset is becoming a little bit more, let me just think about, let me slow things down a little bit. And that's how I'm going to make my business decisions. So effectively what they're looking for is a really good balance between rational and emotional decision making.
Mickey Velimirovich is the president at Cargo. And with the spotlight on small business, I'm Chris McCusker.
Running a business is hard work, and every dollar you put into your business counts. Scotiabank wants to reward you so that you can do more for your business.
Listen this long, I might as well give them 5 more minutes.
Technology before bed, not always a good thing, unless it's Sealy Mattress temperature regulating technology. Get it for an amazing price during the Sealy upgrade sale ending soon in Sleep Country. Plus, get a hot buy Sealy Optimum Pillow Top Queen mattress with temperature control just $4.89. Our sleep experts will match you to your best sleep. So hurry, it all ends Tuesday. Sleep Country, all for sleep. In Brampton, light rain, 8 degrees. Burlington, the chance of rain still on the horizon, 10 degrees. Over in Markham, partly cloudy skies, 8 degrees. Kitchener, seeing some rain, 7 degrees. Over in Oakville, light rain, 10 degrees. Right now, downtown Toronto, raining and 10. This is CFTR 680 News, part of the free Radio Player Canada app. The app works with the connected dashboard and the smart speakers, including Amazon Echo and Sonos. 680 News time, 9 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good evening. This is Saturday, October 26th. I'm Casey Taylor.
And I'm Eden Tababa. Here's what's making news this hour.
Cuts are coming to child care services in 2020, but they may not be as severe as originally thought. Mayor Tory says the Ford government had a change of heart. A man and woman are dead after what police are simply calling a suspicious incident in Midtown.
The province's police watchdog is now involved after a man was shot multiple times by police early this morning in North York.
There's a lot of Halloween parties this weekend. I'm Carl Hansky with some of the most popular costume choices this year.
The Maple Leafs with 2 unanswered goals. They are tied with Montreal after 40 minutes, while the Raptors in a battle with the Chicago Bulls and the Houston Astros have the early lead in the World Series. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, a focus on small business. We're looking at how you know when the right time is
to incorporate.
680 News Time, 9:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here is Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Richlands.ca, and it's really good news. Most of the delays and almost all the problems have been cleared away now. Eastbound 401, the crash approaching James Snow Parkway, that's gone. Westbound 401, the ramp to Stevenson is now reopened with the left lane. It was blocked with a stalled vehicle. And approaching Warden, this collision is also clear. So everything is moving nicely, expressing collectors on the westbound 401. Just a bit of a slowdown, Allen to Kiel in the express. Westbound 407 is where the last remaining crash is. They're cleaning it up. It's West 407 approaching Warden with the 3 left lanes still blocked here. We're looking at volume on the southbound 400 just south of Aurora Road. Things seem to be getting much, much better though. Southbound 404 DVP still heavy. Westbound 401 ramps to south of Lawrence. Evans Avenue ramp to the northbound 427. We had a crash that was blocking the entire ramp. That is now clear. No problems in this area. And eastbound QEW off and on volume from Mississauga Road to Cawthron. The Richlands, Richmond Hills award-winning new home community is now open, featuring towns, semis, and singles from the upper 800s. Learn more at richlands.ca. Your next report is at 9:11, and with the forecast, here's Carl Lamb.
Lots of rain right now, and there's still more to come. Some of the strongest rain is from Mississauga over toward the downtown core, making it tough travel on the Gardner and the DVP right now. So make sure you are taking it easy out on the roads, as you just heard in our traffic report. Temperatures tonight down to 9 degrees, and we will have temperatures rebounding tomorrow up to 15 degrees, but we'll still have the rain and the wind through the early afternoon, and then things start to calm down as we head toward evening. Right now, 9 degrees at Pearson, 10 in downtown Toronto. Tonight's overnight low, 9 degrees.
680 News Time, 9:03.
The province is pulling back on how much it plans to cut from Toronto childcare subsidies.
Mayor John Tory took to Twitter to voice his gratitude for the nearly $10 million boost. 680's Cam Dorrit has the details.
Earlier this year, the Ford government said cuts were coming to subsidized childcare services, and while that's still the case, it's going to hurt a lot less. The city was set to lose about $15 million in 2020, which works out to just over 750 childcare spaces. But now, Mayor John Tory says it appears that number is going to be closer to 2 to 5 million.
I'm delighted to see that they have reduced the scale of those cutbacks in childcare funding, but still, when you're still talking about a cutback, that is something that is just not right.
Tory says he wants all governments to step up and find the solution for better childcare. Joe Cressy and Mike Layden issued a joint statement calling the process silly and say the focus should be on scaling up childcare rather than making cuts. I'm Cam Dorrit.
Breaking news from Midtown, where Toronto police say 2 people are dead following a suspicious incident at a local apartment. Emergency crews called to Davisville Avenue east of Yonge Street just before 12:30 this afternoon for unknown trouble. When they got there, police found a man and a woman inside the apartment with life-threatening injuries, one without vital signs. The 2 victims have since died of their injuries. Toronto police have not released any details yet about the incident, but say it has not yet been considered a homicide.
3 people have been struck by a vehicle in Brampton, all of them suffering injuries ranging from serious to life-threatening. That happened at Elgin Drive, McLaughlin Road earlier this evening. Police say 1 male was rushed to hospital in life-threatening condition, while 2 other males were taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. 2 of those people are said to be teenagers. Officers are now on the hunt for the driver of the vehicle that they say fled the scene after hitting the pedestrian. The vehicle is described as a white Jeep Cherokee, and police say it will have a broken taillight. Anyone with information is asked to come forward.
The province's police watchdog is investigating after Toronto police allegedly shot a 29-year-old man early this morning in the city's north end. The SIU saying it happened as officers were responding to a road rage incident around 4 a.m. Police finding the suspect at a Tim Hortons drive-thru, at which point there was some kind of an interaction that ended with him being shot multiple times. The suspect is still in hospital with serious injuries.
680 News Time, 9:05. Today is the day to celebrate the backbone of the Canadian economy. Carl Garnish has more on Small Business Saturday.
As you get ready for Halloween or maybe the upcoming holiday season, today's your chance to show some love to the small businesses in your community. Dan Kelly is president of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business.
Many Canadians look forward to Black Friday, some look forward to Cyber Monday, but more and more are focusing on what they can do in their local communities. Small Business Saturday is a great day to get out there and patronize independent businesses across Canada. CFIB and Interactive set up a special website, shopsmallbiz.ca, where Canadians can connect with independent businesses across the country.
More than 19,000 businesses have already posted a listing. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 9:06. This portion of the news brought to you by PrudentFinancial.net. Halloween is in the air, and if you're still looking for a costume idea, 680's Carl Hansky tells us what's hot and what's not.
Given the movie was just released, Sean Hamilton from Amazing Party and Costume Store says the biggest selling costume for adults is
the Joker is the number one request for us right now.
But recent news headlines are also creating costume ideas.
So Area 51, aliens, space, because of the call to go to Area 51. A lot of people are dressing up like that. Trudeau blackface.
For kids, it's humor over horror this year. Sean's favorite is an inflatable Carry Me Away alien costume.
It's an alien, looks like it's carrying you away. It looks like you're trying to get away from it, and he's dragging you away. It's so realistic.
Looking for cheap? $10 and you're a witch. I'm Carl Hansky, 680 News.
680 News Time, 9:07. This time next week, we will be falling back as we return to standard time. And it's also a time when we see an increase in pedestrian collisions. 680's Irene Precklett is getting some tips from an expert.
November is usually the worst month for collisions involving pedestrians in the city. We've got the time change and less daylight. Brian Patterson from the Ontario Safety League says pedestrians need to be bright at night so drivers can see them and drivers need to focus.
We have to keep saying it's 100% attention, 100% of the time. And the incidents that we're having are so often connected to people who are constantly driving without paying attention. It's rarely just a moment's lapse.
The clocks fall back November 3rd. I'm Irene Precklett.
680 News Time, 9:08. Former member of Kathleen Wynne's government, Arthur Potts, has announced on Twitter he's entering the leadership race for the Ontario Liberals. Potts joins a race featuring multiple other former MPPs who lost their seats when the party was decimated in last year's loss to Premier Doug Ford's Conservatives. Potts represented Toronto's Beaches East York riding between 2014 and 2018. The official launch of his leadership bid is set to take place Wednesday morning at Toronto's East End. Potts confirming in a response to TVO host Steve Bacon on Twitter. Other notable leadership candidates include Mitzi Hunter, who served as Education Minister from 2016 to 2018, former Transportation Minister Stephen Del Duca, and former Community and Social Services Minister Michael Coteau are also among 6 candidates now in the race. Coming up in 30 seconds, we will check the price at the pumps. 680 News Time, 9:09.
680 News, Toronto.
Oh, shit.
Are you self-employed? Unlike a lot of banks, Prudent Financial has lent money to self-employed for decades, along with people on disability, after bankruptcy, proposal, and many other credit challenge situations. Get great rates, much cheaper than a payday loan. Reasonable payback terms, and a loan that works towards restoring your credit. Own a car or a home? Get a loan. Call 416-634-2020. 634-2020. PrudentFinancial.net.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicting the price will not be changing at midnight, holding steady at $1.18.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather together is up next. 680 News Time, 9:10.
Find a car today, a much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca.
Now, see here, I know you're an expert on buying a car and all, and I appreciate that, I really do. But don't you suppose that maybe, just maybe, everybody could use a little help, like Jerry here?
Well, she told me it was easy. I went to OntarioCars.ca, and don't you know, I fell in love with a beauty.
See, look up OntarioCars.ca to find sellers you can trust. Don't worry, you'll do just fine.
That's OntarioCars.ca.
Rexall can help you realize getting a flu shot is a really good idea. Any day now, I'm going to become a grandmother. So many toys to buy, outfits to pick out, photos to take. I can't get sick right now.
And I'm going to be a dad. So many firsts.
Fuck, man. Tripping. Like us. Just like us.
Radio 680 News. Light rain, 10 degrees. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Casey Taylor. Here's the top stories this hour. The province is softening the blow on city childcare funding. Mayor John Tory saying the Ford government has agreed to reduce its planned cuts to what it gives the city to subsidize childcare spaces by at least 2/3. They would have meant $15 million in lost revenue for the city. Now that is cut down to just $2 to $5 million lost. And Toronto police continue to investigate what they're calling a suspicious incident at a high-rise near Yonge and Davisville. Paramedics saying a man and a woman were both found inside suffering critical injuries and have since died in hospital. Still no word from police as to what happened. 680 News Time at 9:15. Time for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Colin Tasky.
Casey, let's start in Montreal, where the Maple Leafs erased a early 2-0 deficit. Pick things up in the third, just 7 seconds in.
Here's a chance right now. Scores!
And that forgiveness shit, Eddie got murked. To the curb.
In the back of a container truck in southeastern England.
Seeking to treat the victims with dignity, workers have slowly been moving the bodies to a hospital mortuary, hoping to determine the dead people's names. But the task is proving difficult. People smugglers take the passports of their passengers to obscure their identities, stripping them of their names and giving them new documents when they arrive at their destinations. Police in Britain initially believed that the victims were Chinese, but later acknowledged the picture was evolving, and it seems for sure that some are Vietnamese. Charles Ledesma, London.
U.S. authorities have ordered new evacuations over concerns about severe winds near a huge wildfire in Northern California wine country.
50,000 people are being told to get out now. With the large Kincaid fire burning, the concern is forecasted winds will push the flames toward the cities of Healdsburg and Windsor. Ahead of those winds, Sonoma County Sheriff Mark Essex says it's time to get out.
We are evacuating because this fire is very dangerous, and it is expected to move towards Healdsburg and Windsor this evening.
The areas being impacted were ground zero for the 2017 wildfires that devastated Santa Rosa and much of Sonoma County. Alex Stone, ABC News.
680 News Time, 9:19. Russia's foreign ministry says a woman who returned to Moscow today after serving a sentence in the U.S. for being a covert agent is a victim of anti-Russian attitudes. Maria Butina had been in custody since her arrest in July of 2018. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova says the 30-year-old Butina only wanted to help relations between the U.S. and Russia.
She really did no harm to anybody. She's not a threat. She's just a girl. She's just a young woman.
Butina pleaded guilty last year to conspiring to act as an unregistered agent for Russia. She admitted that she worked to leverage contacts in the National Rifle Association to pursue back channels to American conservatives. And a group of U.S. journalists have had enough of the term fake news. 680 business editor Chris McCusker explains.
The Florida Pro chapter of the Society of Professional Journalists has decided to trademark the term in an attempt to stop the U.S. president from using it. And every time it is used, a cease and desist letter will be sent. Now, the application is not likely to get approval, but the organization is moving forward anyway in an attempt to get people to think about how they use the term. The news group has also set up a website to teach readers how to spot fake news at fakenewstm.com. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together, 680 News Time, 9:20.
Do me a favor and turn the Napoleon on. Oh, fireplace? No. Barbecue? No, the Napoleon furnace. It's so cold, the dog is wearing the cat.
Wait.
That's all they're going to give us, and I got nothing else for you, so I'm out.